So today we'll be talking about research design, so research approaches and research design. Now, as part of your syllabus, you do not have all the types of research designs. I will be discussing them briefly. I would suggest that you do not go into a lot of detail about them because they can become kind of like a well. So this is that you keep it brief even when you're studying this research design because they can get into a lot of unnecessary details. Now, first of all, what is research design? अब आप research design जब करना चाह रहे any research if you want to perform, research design is essentially a blueprint to conduct that research, to conduct a study, and to make sure that you are able to control certain factors of that research, okay, which might interfere with the validity of the findings. Okay, to make sure that your research is authentic. आप क्या करते हैं एक ब्लूप्रिंट बनाते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप सपोज यू वांट टू कंस्ट्रक्ट अ बिल्डिंग ठीक है before constructing a building you will make a blueprint of the building how deep will be the foundation what kind of cement will I use what kind of materials will I use what how long will it take how many people will I have to employ to get the construction done in a certain period of time what will be the design all of that ठीक है ये पूरा रिसर्च डिजाइन में आता है आप एक ब्लूप्रिंट बना रहे हैं रिसर्च करने के लिए so you have a problem that you need an answer to. To answer that problem or to answer that particular question, you are making a design, you're designing a research around it to perform an experiment, or even if you're not performing an experiment, just simply do research. You need to have a certain design. Now, as such, research designs are of two main types. Uh,
Zero.
yeah. So research design are of two types. Okay? We have qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative research design and we have qualitative. Okay. Now, quantitative research designs will essentially be numerical in nature. Okay. They will be variables that you can quantify, that you can measure in terms of number. So, quantitative research design again is divided into two types. We have experimental, okay, and there is non-experimental. The same way, qualitative research design has some more subtypes, but I'll not go into that much research in this thing. More important ones will be experimental and non-experimental. If you remember, I think in chapter one, yes, Yav, do you have a doubt? Raise your hand.
No, no, sir, by mistake.
अच्छा ठीक है हाँ तो जैसा मैं बोल रहा था in chapter 1 I told you what is the difference between quantitative and qualitative design, so I will directly get into what are the subtypes of qualitative and quantitative designs. But before doing that, we'll look at a few this thing क्या बोलते हैं, elements of research design, what will be involved in the designing of any research. ठीक है now coming to elements of research design. First and foremost will be a population and sample. Okay, these will be your subjects. Who are you performing the research on, or who will be you be including inside the research? अब आप अगर research कर रहे हैं, let's suppose on a new drug, whether or not it will work in patients with tuberculosis. So your population or your sample will be people who have tuberculosis. Okay, you can have a control group with a certain certain factors that are not similar to this group, but that's a different story altogether. Your population as such will be people who have tuberculosis. If you want to study one particular drug that might work on tuberculosis patients, आपके पास एक X drug है that you think might work in TB, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, experiment run कर रहे हैं on a few patients. These patients, all of them have TB. That will be your population, and they will be a sample essentially. Then we have variables. So एक हो गया element population, ठीक है. Then we have variables. A variable, there are 3-4 types of variables. There are two main important types of variable that you need to know with respect to research. One is an independent variable and the other is a dependent variable. ठीक है, इन लोगों को मैनिपुलेटिंग एंड रेस्पॉन्डिंग भी बोलते हैं, मैनिपुलेटिंग या मैनिपुलेटेड या इसको रेस्पॉन्डिंग. वन सेकंड, responding. Now, why so? Independent variables are variables that will not depend on the sample, but depend, if you change the independent variable, this fellow will change. I'll give you one example. Let's suppose there is a crying child. Okay. अब बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स ले सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये लेंगे आप, there is a crying child and there is, imagine, chocolate. ठीक है. Now you as a researcher, the independent variable will be chocolate and the dependent variable will be the crying child. Why? अगर chocolate crying child को दिए तो उन्हें रोना बंद कर दे रहा. ठीक है. That child might stop crying. So you are essentially, as a researcher, are studying the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. Okay. Another example would be, imagine there is a plant. Okay. Imagine there is a plant like this, and this plant, you have just planted a new plant. Let's suppose that is this much in size. Independent variable will be water. That water or that independent variable does not depend on anything. आप पानी दो, कैसा भी पानी दो, the dependent variable here will be the growth of this plant. How tall will it grow? How thick will that plant grow? Will it bear a lot of fruits? Will it survive for a certain period of time? अब कितनी देर तक देना पड़ता है वो survive करने के लिए? All of that, कितना quantity देना पड़ता है survive करने के लिए? All of them will become dependent variables. They are dependent on this independent variable. So if, as a researcher, you are manipulating independent variables in order to make sure that dependent variables are responding. ठीक है, आप manipulate इन लोगों को करते and dependent variables respond करते. So you are manipulating the content of water or whether or not to give water altogether, and the dependent variable, which is the plant itself, that is responding either by growing or withering or whatever is happening to it. Okay, that is a relationship between variables. समझ में आया? What are two types of variables? You'll also have constant variables, but for now you don't need to worry about them. For now, just focus on what is independent and dependent variables. What are independent and dependent? Okay. If you did not understand anything, if you want me to repeat anything, please feel free to ask. If you want me to give another example. हाँ जी, तो वेरिएबल्स हो गया एक और एलिमेंट. देन वी हैव टाइम ऑफ डेटा कलेक्शन. Time of data collection refers to how long you will be collecting the data for. Example, will you be collecting the data for a few days or a few months or a few years? कितना लंबी चलेंगी आपकी स्टडी? Based on that, your time of data collection will vary. Okay, that will also be an element of research design. Your research design will be based on these elements. Once you know the elements, आप क्या population size पे पढ़ना चाह रहे, what will be your variables, what will be the time that you want to conduct the study for, then you will be able to design a proper study, and then you will be able to come up with a proper research design. Then setting. Setting is essentially the location. आप एक lab में करना चाह रहे हैं, या do you want to have a more natural setting where you are doing it outdoors? Depends on the type of experiment that you are running. It depends on the population that you are running the experiment on. Then we have method of data collection. Now, method of data collection can be of several types. It can be a self-reporting system. Self-reporting system का मतलब ये है, आपके subjects जो है, they are writing a form and they are giving it to you every day. They are repeating, they are essentially reporting what is happening to them every day. That is a self-report method. Okay. For example, let's suppose you are performing an experiment checking on the happiness scale of different patients. तो आप ये happiness scale में क्या कर रहे हैं, हर एक patient को एक form दे रहे हैं to, you know, you have several scales of happiness and this thing like that, emotional well-being बोलते हैं उसको, but you are giving that scale and they are filling it up themselves and you are doing it every day. Let's suppose you are doing it for a long period of time and you are seeing whether or not their happiness is increasing, decreasing, what is happening to their happiness depending on certain variables that you are controlling. ठीक है, तो आप एक मेथड ऑफ डेटा कलेक्शन विल बी यू गिव आउट द फॉर्म्स, दे विल रिपोर्ट इट देमसेल्व्स, या फिर यू आर सिंपली ऑब्जर्विंग, ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन देयर एक्शंस, डिपेंडिंग वेदर और नॉट दे आर एग्रेसिव और दे आर गेटिंग डिप्रेस्ड और दे आर जनरली हैप्पी, you might be observing and that is how you might, you know, collect data. And there are other methods as well. These are two common methods, या तो आप observe कर रहे हैं या self report कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, वैसा collect कर रहे हैं data. Then finally data analysis. How are you analyzing and summarizing data? Now your data can be, you know, methods of data analysis as such, you have to describe it in a research design, whether it will be in description form, मतलब आप data जो analyze कर रहे हैं उसको कैसा आप represent करेंगे, will it be in descriptive form, will it be inferential or will it be in numerical form, आप numbers में represent करने वाले हैं data को, आप like are you able to quantify something into numbers or are you just going to tell it in words, descriptive माने most of the patients were feeling well, some of the patients were depressed, some of the patients committed suicide. Example, God forbid, but I'm giving you an example. It is a descriptive form of analysis versus let's suppose numerical form of analysis या numerical result of analysis कैसा रहता? There were 10 subjects which were taken and out of 10, 2 subjects grew what do you call up to an age. Let's suppose they are talking about growth of different plants. 2 subjects grew up to a height of 1 meter and 8 subjects grew up to a height of 4 meters. Example, ठीक है, ऐसा आप न्यूमेरिकल डेटा आप कलेक्ट करके उसको एनालाइज करके आप रिजल्ट दे रहे, नंबर्स में दे रहे, या फिर आप डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे रहे, आप जैसा भी दे रहे, दैट विल बी योर डेटा एनालिसिस. ठीक है, यू माइट एम्प्लॉय डिफरेंट डेटा एनालिसिस मेथड्स फॉर ईच एंड एवरी डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ डेटा दैट यू गेट. ठीक है, नाउ कमिंग टू quantitative research. So those are the elements of any research design. You will have variables, you will have data analysis, you will have methods of data collection, you will have the population that you will be studying in, you will have the time duration for which you will be collecting the data for, and you will have a particular setting, okay, where you will run the experiment. Now coming to quantitative research. Okay. Now this plain and simple involves gathering data, specifically in numerical form, which can be categorized or it can be ranked or measured. ठीक है, अब वो डेटा को या तो रैंक करते या अलग अलग डेटा को मेजर करने वाले हैं या आप उसको कैटेगराइज करने वाले हैं यूजिंग वट एवर यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट दैट यू सो प्लीज टू डू. ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर रिसर्च एंड डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट एक्सपेरिमेंट यू विल यूज योर ओन यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट वट एवर यू आर मेजरिंग. ठीक है, now if you go by a specific definition, this is essentially explaining a phenomena by collecting numerical data. Okay, that data is later on analyzed using certain mathematical methods. Now more often than not you will use different statistical methods. Quantitative research में statistics are very 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 important because आप अलग अलग you know software use करते हैं आपके data को analyze करने. For example we have SPSS या Excel या you know अलग अलग रहते हैं. You go to a statistician, you feed them the data, you give them the data, and you tell them, see, this is the research that I did. These are the results I got. Can you interpret the data and give me the analysis of the data? Give me the result of my data. तो उन्होंने क्या करते हैं? They will feed the data into a software and they will run the analysis and give you this thing proper answer. So quantitative research where generally you will get proper numerical results, and you know it is. There are a few advantages to it and disadvantages to it as well. This obviously you must have understood. This is usually based on numerical measurements, which are research indicators, and they are tools. Now, आप large scale studies भी करना चाह रहे, तो quantitative research are pretty conducive to large scale research. Let's suppose you want to research on about 10,000 or 100,000 patients. Okay, quantitative research will be it will not exactly be easy, but it will be, the results will be very accurate or at least to a certain degree it will be accurate, and it will be easily, you'll be able to easily understand what are the results. Okay, because यहाँ पर clearly आपको numbers मिल जा रहे हैं. I'll give you one example. Let's suppose there are two different teachers, okay, and they are grading the. Let's suppose there is an English exam, okay, and these two teachers have been given freedom. And you can correct and grade whatever way you want. Okay, you can use a grading system like A, B, C, D, E, or you can use a numerical system 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, or you can use whatever descriptive method you want to as well. So अब ये दो teachers जो है, let's suppose one teacher is using the numerical method and another teacher is not, and the other teacher is using a descriptive method. अब जो numerical use कर रहे हैं, let's suppose one is using numerical method, ठीक है? एनो क्या कर रहे हैं? 5 students है, student number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's suppose 4 students है because I don't have enough space. Now 4 students है, and based on the test, that English test, she is giving or he is giving different marks. So let's suppose one fellow got 5 out of 5, another got 4 out of 5, another got 1 out of 5, and another got 3 out of 5. ठीक है, आपको क्लियर कट पता चल जा रहा है, इसको फुल मार्क्स मिले, इसको 80% मिले, इसको 20% मिले, इसको 60% मिले. You can categorize clearly क्या result था. Versus let's suppose the second teacher is writing in this way. यहाँ पर excellent लिखे हो ना, यहाँ पर good लिखे, यहाँ पर poor लिखे, यहाँ पर average लिखे. ठीक है, it is harder to categorize. Okay, you are telling that they are excellent, good, poor, and average, but it will be harder to categorize what is the difference between good and excellent because you're not putting a proper number to it. ठीक है, someone can be a excellent, great, yeah, very good, या ऐसा भी लगा सकते हैं आप. So what will be the difference between them? अब 4.5 को कैसे categorize करेंगे आप? Very good में आता है या almost excellent बोल के आता? It will be hard. So you get the point. Quantitative research will give you a clear-cut answer in this sense. ठीक है, numbers में आपको clearly समझ में आ जाता है research का output क्या था and research का result क्या था. It will not, be useful in all scenarios, but in most scenarios it will be very clear-cut. And one of the most commonly used research methods will be a quantitative research method. One of the main reasons is that the results that you get are very valid and they are reliable. All right. Now coming to types of quantitative research, I hope you understood the basics of quantitative research, what it is and what they are trying to achieve in quantitative research. Types of now quantitative research essentially has 3 main types. Okay? Technically 2 types, and those types will have again subtypes. Just write those 2 types, those are the most common ones. We have experimental research design and non-experimental. Okay, we'll first discuss what is experimental design and the types of experimental design, and later on we'll go into non-experimental. Okay, first of all, experimental research design itself has 3 subtypes. You have true experimental design, quasi-experimental design, and pre-experimental design. That is why I told you to not go into excessive detail in this topic, because you can go deep into this. Just get a basic introduction and basic understanding of all of these, and it will be more than enough for you, because it is only one unit out of the whole portion of your research and statistics. Now we'll discuss what are the advantages and what is in general experimental design. Now experimental design is a very powerful tool to test any hypothesis, especially to test what is the relationship between variables, especially the causal relationship between variables. Now ideally in this type of experimental or in this type of design, the investigator explains the variables because they are interested in observing. लेट्स सपोज यहाँ पर नो क्या लेंगे एग्जाम्पल, हाँ जी, imagine there is an example wherein you want to study whether color of a car causes a difference in temperature inside the car. ठीक है, let's suppose you have four different colors and four cars of different colors. Imagine I can't draw white here. I'll draw. Suppose there is a red car, there is a yellow car, there is a green car, and there is a black car. ठीक है, we are conducting an experiment where, or the researcher is conducting an experiment where they want to find out, does the color of a car have any effect on the temperature of the interior of that car. Okay, so basically a buyer that will be wants to buy a car, oh no, they will be interested in this. Okay, especially in areas like regions like India where temperatures can go pretty hot, pretty high. In those scenarios, would buying a certain type of car be more advantageous than any other type? तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल क्या हो गया, कलर हो गया. दैट कलर डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनीथिंग, but the dependent variable will be temperature. ठीक है, टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है या कम हो रहा है डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कलर ऑफ दैट कार. सो आई होप यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द माइन्यूट डिटेल्स हियर. यहाँ पर इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल इज द कलर. कलर डज नॉट डिपेंड ऑन एनीथिंग. यू आर चेंजिंग द कलर एज एन एक्सपेरिमेंटर और यू आर चेंजिंग द कलर एज अ रिसर्चर. What is changing because of that color is temperature. That will be the dependent variable or that will be the responding variable. अब यहाँ पर आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप whenever you are performing an experimental design, you are giving a relationship between them, okay, and you are able to manipulate these variables, and you make sure that no external variable is getting involved. For example, even if I have a car, let's suppose in order of different color, this is the coolest. So let's suppose this is the coolest. One is the coolest. Then we have two. Then we have three. Then we have four. Meaning four is the hottest. Okay. So on a coolness scale, example, I'm only giving you an example here. Okay. Yellow is the coolest car. Meaning any car which has yellow color will be the coolest when compared to red. Then will be green. Then finally will be black. Black will be the hottest. अब आपके एक्सपेरिमेंट पे you do not want to create or you do not want to introduce extraneous variables. Extraneous variables क्या रहते हैं? Variables that you cannot judge. For example, let's suppose someone washes that car with water. That is a completely external variable that you have not accounted for. Okay? Obviously, that will bring down the temperature a little bit. Or else another extraneous variable can be, putting the windows down. That might, make sure that the temperature remains somewhat constant and it does not heat up as much. अब बहुत सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं ऐसा, AC ऑन करके रख दिए या those variables you have to control. ठीक है, you have to make sure that if you are studying only the color of the car and the relationship of that color to temperature, only those two variables are involved and nothing else is involved. That is affecting temperature. ठीक है, there should be no other variable that can affect your dependent variable. जैसा आप पानी मार दिए या whatever you are doing. ठीक है, तो वो पूरा भी अकाउंट करना पड़ता इन एन एक्सपेरिमेंटल रिसर्च डिजाइन. Now there are a few advantages to experimental research design. One is that you can get complete control over variables, and it is very easy to determine the relationship between cause and effect. What is causing the effect? Okay, आपका cause क्या है और आपका effect क्या है, उन दोनों का relationship क्या है. And in general, results are also pretty much accurate in this. Okay, you get better results as well. Disadvantage is that sometimes you might not be able to perform the experiment altogether. It might be ethical reasons, or maybe your variables are changing way too much and you are not able to control the variables. Sometimes it happens. Okay, and for other practical reasons, there is a chance that you might not be able to perform the experiment altogether. Another disadvantage is that you are creating a completely artificial situation. When you do this research, you are controlling everything. Okay? In real life scenarios, you cannot control everything. Even if you are doing it in a lab, let's suppose you are performing an experiment in a lab, you cannot control everything. For example, you are studying sensitivity of certain enzymes to a particular or sensitivity of a certain receptor to enzymes. Example. ठीक है, let's suppose there is a receptor in your body and this receptor essentially responds to one enzyme, or it should respond to one enzyme, like this E1 enzyme to receptor R1. अब आप ये चेक करना चाह रहे in different patients what will be the sensitivity of this receptor to this enzyme. Now in real life scenario, when you have patients with different comorbidities, different ages, different genders, वो पूरा ये बहुत change हो जाता, ठीक है. If you are performing an experiment, you will create limitations. You will only take ideal patients, or you will only take patients of a certain category, and then you will try to find the relationship between enzyme and enzyme and receptor. That might not completely show the relationship between both of them, because in certain scenarios these two might not relate the same way as shown in the experiment. I'm repeating once again. आप क्या कर रहे हैं as a researcher? Example, you are testing the relationship between or the sensitivity of a receptor. Let's suppose that receptor is R1 in the person's body to enzyme E1. ठीक है, and we are taking patients with let's suppose coronary artery disease. ठीक है, CAD. आप इसमें देखना चाह रहे हैं whether this enzyme will respond to, whether this receptor will respond to that enzyme. अब आप experiment जब करेंगे, you will only take patients with CAD, and maybe you are only including patients who are between 18 to 60, and maybe you are not including patients who are pregnant, or you are not including patients who are on psychiatric medications, or who are psychiatric patients, or you have certain limitations. You are not considering patients who have other comorbidities. Maybe you are not considering patients who have diabetes. So this will create a very artificial scenario. Okay? In real life scenarios, this will not happen. You might have a 70-year-old patient who has diabetes and CAD, or you might have a 30-year-old pregnant lady who has CAD. So बहुत सारे scenarios हो सकते हैं. That is one disadvantage of experimental research design. And because of this, it is subject to human error as well. Okay? There can be a big factor of human error in this type of design. Okay? There might be personal bias, or you might not be able to get proper samples, unreliable samples हो सकते हैं, results artificial आ सकते हैं, कभी-कभी results non-replicable रह सकते हैं, non-replicable result. See, any research as such, one big thing that you need to make sure when performing research is that its results and its methodologies should be replicable and repeatable. इसका मतलब क्या है? आप एक बार अगर एक्सपेरिमेंट करें तो फिर से कर सकना वही सेम एक्सपेरिमेंट, ठीक है. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू रिपीट दैट एक्सपेरिमेंट अगेन, you will not be able to make sure that the results that you got are accurate or not. Okay? Let's suppose there is a researcher in India and he's making a certain claim, whatever that claim is. Let's suppose he's making a claim X is equal to Y because of a certain research that he did in India. If it is a good type of research, maybe a different researcher who is in Portugal, okay, maybe that fellow can perform the same experiment and he can also prove X is equal to Y, or he might prove X is less than Y, or he might prove X is not equal to Y. Okay, कुछ भी. But in this scenario, that research should be replicable. They should be able to perform that research again. Any good research will be replicable. अगर आपके research results are not replicable, or the research design itself is not replicable, then that is a problem. That might not be an ideal type of research design. Okay? So those are some disadvantages of experimental design in general. I will go into the major steps of experimental designs and types of experimental design in the next class. I hope यहाँ तक समझ में आया. This can get a little dry. That is why I suggest that you don't go into too much details. अगर आप बहुत सारे details में जाने लगे तो it will become a unnecessarily tedious memorization game. So that is why.